12,000 subs on YouTube. So
Hold on.
And for the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign. And for the...
All right, man. Slow key, and I say I am Mr. Superfax. Today we got a special guest, a United States veteran, unapologetic truth speaker, okay, and dare I say, amateur porn star. Are we allowed to say that?
yeah, you can go and say that.
That armchair revolutionary is in the building. Somebody I got a lot of respect for, and a great researcher, and somebody I feel like just really holds people accountable for their own ignorance. Let's have a real conversation, man. Today we're going to be talking about Donald Trump and what the next 4 years are going to look like. My thing, I kind of want to start the conversation off like this. If we take a step back and you look at the big picture, America is relying on a 78-year-old reality TV show celebrity that had how many businesses go bankrupt. They're relying on a 78-year-old celebrity to save America. Is that so? I guess my first question is that enough evidence that America is basically like the collapse is inevitable?
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Low-Key T. And so I tried to go into it. There's no business in porn anymore. So I basically just never gonna post it. But anyway, man. But yeah, that was a great intro. And I also went on Hurricane live stream last night and basically was saying the same thing I'm gonna say now, but just going into bigger detail because we were talking about how, it's, I compared it last night. I make the comparison of like a corporation like Ford Motor Company, for example, or anyone you want to bring up. I'm just using Ford Motor Company because I know the name of the original owner is Henry Ford, right? So Henry Ford owns Ford, but he might hire a president or CEO to be one of the main policymakers for the company. And so, but the owner can override the policymaker if he makes a policy he don't like lowering the price of the cars, for example. So, that's why I view all these presidents, so-called presidents, as they're put in place, and the owners of America, pretty much the financial class, they can override him, and good luck getting elected if you don't have the money to run you have to, even though it's rigged, you still have to they still want to make it look like the people have this, have his support. How would he, that's how Obama can come out of nowhere in 2008 and in 1 year garner that much support. And then of course, but Donald Trump was already famous, but then they just made him even more. He's, on mainstream media in 2016, I remember they would ask him what to do about an issue before they would ask Obama, who was the current president. So it goes to show you how they were already at line up for him. I think it was just the script was they wanted to make him a split term. They wanted to give it to Biden and Kamala for 4 years, and that's what they did. And then they're gonna give it. Then people blame her for the decline of the country. But remember, Trump brought in the jab during. People always forget he brought in the jab in 2020. So Trump is not even for the people at all. He talks good. He's a good actor. He's very funny. He acts like he's saying stuff off the dome when he's not. He's reading from a script. And that's what sucks people in because they think, oh, a businessman can run America like a business, right? But like you brought up earlier, he's born rich, gets all this money from his dad, and still has a lot of failed companies. I remember I went to Las Vegas back in January, and Trump Tower is off, not on the main strip, is off in the distance. And I could tell no one's staying over there. His Trump Tower in Vegas failed, and he has his name behind it, So he's not even really that good of a businessman. He's just born rich, groomed. His family, supposedly the official story, they changed their name from dumped the Trump in 1870s, and they probably groomed him to be Trump a century in advance.
Said he went to, correct me if I'm wrong, Fordham, which is like a Jesuit kind of school.
Yeah, I think he went to he went to military school just to take some propaganda photos, and then he went to military high school, and then he went to Fordham for his bachelor's degree.
Right, because the streets say he's Jesuit.
Yeah,
Trained
not only is he
as,
Jesuit, he's a Zionist. So he goes to takes a pilgrimage to Israel once a year, and wears that yarmulke on that fake mop of his.
and that's kind of like to show his devotion or loyalty.
Yes, because you have to remember that's what Dr. Williams taught me. That's is you got to re-educate. Got to give people the truth because we've been lied to so long. People don't know what's going on. So, for example, most people think whether they hate Jew or hate, I can just call them not to get your channel in trouble. I'll just call them JEWs or woos or something like that. So people basically, that's what Dwayne McClain calls them, woos. So for example, most people don't like woos, but they still think they're the chosen people because of the Bible. I mean, it's like double think from 1984, in my opinion. So, but you have to understand the Bible it's going to piss off a lot of people, but you have to remember the Bible is religious literature. It's not a history book. So the woos were created in the Bible, and the so-called woos have only been around for 1,000 years, and their name comes from jewelry because they used to be jewelry sharks and loan sharks in Central Europe. And they find it, and actually Christianity came first, then woos. First Christianity, then Islam and woos came around the same time. And so Islam was there to snatch up the mind of the so-called Arab people, and then woos became kind of a financial banking class of people. And they're very ruthless. They care about their religious books say, woos over everybody. They're the ultimate gangsters because it's like they have the we all we got type of mentality. So they're more them for them more than the mob are. So they because you never hear about a woo snitching on his other people. I've never really heard that. It's always Italian snitch, black snitch, Mexican snitch. Woos never snitch. If they do, when they rarely do get caught, doing financial crime. So the woos are, a big.
It's fucking ridiculous that you have to say the word woo.
It shows you their power, man. They already programmed the algorithm that anti sim speech is going to get you, censored. That's why, a lot of people going to Rumble, a lot of people going now. I heard old YouTube OG named Bill Greathouse told me that he got censored on BitChute, but he still has a BitChute account. But I haven't heard Rumble censoring yet, but it might be coming, so
it's just
you have to be very careful.
We having a conversation and it's like if we're online, we have to change a letter or whatever, or change a whole word. We have to use code words. But if we talking in real life, we can educate each other with the actual accurate words, and it's just so ridiculous, man.
Well, even a private phone call, you can talk to each other, but as soon as you say a key phrase, they are going to come. They're going to listen to that phone call once you say a key phrase. If you attack a certain group that's protected, they're going to come. They're going to not censor you, but they're going to listen to that phone call. But then if you're online live streaming, especially on Google Tube, they're going to just take down the video. I mean, during the scam, I blatantly went on a rant one time and they took down the whole damn video.
I had a video taken down last week, bro.
Dang.
About Trump. Yeah, they said I don't remember what the reason for. I think they said it was misinformation or something. But yeah, that was the first video I got taken down in a while. And
and they're very, and they'll wait too. Sometimes it'll be a month later, and then they will never always give you a vague reason why.
And they prop Trump up as this he wants to make America great again, and he's just like pro a speech guy, like pro freedom of speech guy, but he had 4 years to do something about being able to just, exercise your freedom of speech on the internet. But like, what you think he's gonna do anything? But then he ended up
No, he's
getting
going to do the same thing he did, carry on the agenda just like he did in 2020 to 2024. I mean, 2020. I mean, sorry, 2016 to 2020. He's going to do the same thing during that time frame he did then. He did nothing for the people, and he's there not to do anything for the people. The people did not elect him. The people that put him in office elected him because he's their perfect. He's very divisive, but he's very popular.
it's just so
So
crazy.
people they like him, even though he there's nothing to really like about him other than he's funny. But so what? A evil man can be funny. So what? I mean, like the Emperor from Star Wars is funny, but he's the most wickedest man ever. So what does that mean? So you can look at him. You look at his old melting face and the fake spray tan, fake hair. The man's a walking phony fake show,
Right.
and he had all the fake unalive attempts on him.
Right.
So it's
Right.
just like it's completely bonkers to me. People think that when you talk to people, the normies, when the normies hate him, they're like, oh my god, I can't believe that pig has got up in there. Then the people normies that love him are like, at least Trump is, I heard he's not actually against the other races, and he's dated black women, and he's maybe going to be for the people. It's like, no, man, you can't. It's like the whole thing with rappers, man. You cannot become a big time rapper if you didn't sell out. Kendrick Lamar, all of them. Even I used to like Lupe Fiasco as a kid. Then he turned out he pushed the agenda 4 years ago. I was like, oh my god, his son. I liked his music, but man, he pushed the agenda too. You
Yeah.
cannot be up in that space. A certain level in this world, you're not going to breach unless you sell out and you sell your soul.
Now,
I mean,
is it kind of like, or is there another path where you're just born into a bloodline, so it's like you were already chosen, or you
well,
already had
that's
like,
what Trump is. That's what Trump's and a lot of celebrities already are. They're already born into it, and they're groomed from day one. They're MK Ultra controlled from day one, so they know they're not going to break the programming. It's just like a computer. Once you program a script in a computer, it's going to carry it out until it's destroyed. So the people that are groomed, they don't have to go through. They're just born into the rituals, and when you're born into something, it's normal to you.
right, because there's people saying that Donald Trump didn't even look like happy, or he it wasn't like maybe the last time. He just seemed kind of
Well, it was
like
see, this is
whatever.
one the first time even though he was told he was going to win years in advance, he was excited because it's going different from being a real estate tycoon to being the figurehead of America. But he was happy the first time. The second time, he's older, he's more weary, he's almost 80 years old, he's getting tired, and he's getting tired of always having to make these speeches and remember all these scripts and stuff. So he's tired now, so it's just like this whole thing. He's just getting older, he's tired, and he wants to, he probably, when he gets out of office, he's going to go. They're probably going to fake unalive him, and he's going to go live underground in a nice vacation. They got so much big things underground and these tunnels in Denver, for example, that you can go live underground and never be seen again by the normal people.
Now you saying they might delete him before before he's done being president, or
Yeah, they will.
after?
They will do a fake deletion where they will, shoot off a cap at him, and it's just a Hollywood prop. They'll make it look good on mainstream media, and then he'll have a squib like the '80s action movies in his chest. It will erupt out, and then he'll flip around on the ground like a fish. They'll, of course, on mainstream media, they will censor it. So they will censor it, and then he will and so he'll be blurred out anyway. When they'll do that on mainstream media, especially CNN, when they are showing a lot of carnage from a big, for example, big. I don't know if I can get away with saying shooting, but I don't know if that's an algorithm. But
It's ridiculous.
hold on,
But you're
hold
saying,
on, get the phone.
once again, man, we got Armchair Revolutionary in the building. If you can hear the sound of my voice, definitely hit the like button, share this video. All right. Today we're talking about Donald Trump and what the next 4 years will look like. It's a lot of people that, you know, I personally feel like there could be more accountability. They could hold this guy more accountable. And then there's this attitude of like, you know, people don't want change or the truth or solutions. They just want to win. That's kind of like what this country is about. It's about winning. It's not about it's not about solving any problems or uniting. These people just want to quote unquote win, you know, so they treat these politics like it's like a goddamn basketball game or a football game or something. You back?
Sorry about that, man. I got a phone call from my real estate agent because I'm still on my an old, you know, my, I don't want to get tell all my business online, but I'm selling a place. So anyway, let's get back to where I was at. Basically, he, you know, he's getting tired now, and it's the second time around of, even though he, you know, even if you're groomed and put in a position, it probably is exciting for them to take these big roles of a lifetime, like the president, for the first time, especially in 2016. He was excited. And all the stuff that came out in the media with him, with the Peace Star coming after him in 2016, and all that stuff was ritual. And then all these charges are ritual. You think if Donald Trump was just a high-ranking businessman and not going to be president, he'd just buy the best attorneys and get away with it.
So just going back a little bit, you think they're gonna delete him during his term or after his term?
They're definitely during his term, because that'd be a waste of a good opportunity. They got 4 years to do it. They're probably going to do it on a special date that lines up with their numerology, because these people are still practicing what the Greeks discovered in Egypt, which is they took Freemasonry from Egypt and just corrupted it and are using it for their evil agenda. So, you know, they like certain dates and like to line up dates. They line up with certain zodiac signs, and they're going to decide to, fake a deletion on him probably halfway through his term. It'd probably be around 2 years from now, on a special date. They're going to delete him 2 years from, you know, the time he's been in office for this term. And then he's going to go in hiding, and you'll never see him again.
It's funny because they somebody put up this picture where they said he was 45th and the 47th, and then if you add up the two different numbers, it comes out to 9/11. Like the 40.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take on it.
So I don't know if there's some gematria behind that or some,
because because it actually equals it actually equals 90. Yeah, it actually equals 90.
Well, no, what I was saying, if you do add 4 plus 5, and
you're just adding the digits. Yeah, you're just adding the digits.
Yeah,
you're just adding the digits, all the digits together. But yeah, at the same time, yeah, I mean that doesn't. I mean, they can be doing type of stuff like that and making special math rules to make it line up like that. But bottom line is that he is 47. I know from, even though I view him, I'm not going to attack another channel, but there used to be a big gematria YouTuber that now has since been exposed as a scammer. But he's big on the number 47, and that is, I think he gave us some truth that 47 is important to the U.S. fake corporate government. 47 is a big number because it lines up with a lot of words. I know the word agent equals 47 in gematria. That's why they gave us the video game character Agent 47.
Wow.
Even though it's a very fun game, when I play that game, I know that gematria is a reason his code name is 47, because agent equals 47.
Secret agent, man.
Exactly.
I don't know if you ever watched. You probably watched Industry Exposed or whatever his name is.
I do. I watch him too.
Yeah.
I used to sometimes occasionally subscribe to his Patreon because it's only $8 a month. But he does pretty good breakdowns. But sometimes He has sometimes I disagree with him, but overall he has some pretty good breakdowns. But he started out just as a Tupac exposing channel, then he just branched out to the whole industry.
Yeah.
He's the
So
first one that brought to my attention that Elvis Presley was supposedly a woo.
really,
Yes, he brought that up, that Elvis Presley was wooish by birth, you know. So had no idea, but there's a lot of lot of woos living in the South that look just they're indistinguishable by the redneck normies. And because people consider him a handsome guy when he was younger, no one, that's the whole thing about woos. You cannot tell them from a normal white person. Most times you cannot. I mean, you have some like Adrian Brody that are obvious. The actor Adrian Brody are obvious. The actor that played the weird detective monk, he's obvious. But some of them, like the new superhero Shazam, he's less obvious. He's wooish. Natalie Portman from Star Wars, she's a woo, and then V for Vendetta. But I think with the that skinny, she looks like a man to me. The skinny chick that played the new Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot. She's actually from Israel, but she's she wears in our sleeve that she's from Israel. She was Miss Israel when she was younger.
really, wow.
Yeah, she was Miss new Wonder Woman gal. Now I think they're gonna recast her soon because I think they made Zack Snyder step down from making those DC movies. But she was actually Miss America when she was a younger chick, or chick in quotation marks, when she was younger. And then now they make her Wonder Woman. So here they are promoting a wooish person as the most beautiful woman in the world, and to me, she's not that pretty.
So, what's your thoughts on Joe Rogan, and do you feel like Joe Rogan had any impact on Donald Trump becoming president from him going on his podcast? You think that?
Just to sell the lie that Donald Trump is popular and a man of the people. Here he is, a former president and current running to be president, and then he just got elected, going on a MMA sports commentator and potheads podcast. Like he's gonna go on a funny man's podcast like that and be down to earth and talk and have a candid conversation with a comedic, YouTuber. And it's like, even though Joe Rogan was on television long before YouTube, that's where he got his fame, right? People always forget that. So, but that helped his popularity, because it's like, oh, Donald Trump, he's just a good old guy he's want to sit down with a professional funny man like Joe Rogan and talk to him about different things. And I didn't watch the whole interview. I only saw a little bit of it. I don't know what he fully discussed on there. But why didn't did Joe Rogan ask him about extraterrestrials on there?
I think they talked about it briefly, but I was pissed off that they didn't. I don't think, bro. I watched 20 minutes of it. It was unbearable. Joe Rogan did a lot of dick riding, and I don't even think he asked him about Epstein. This guy Trump, I don't know if you saw the clip, but Trump lied to Joe Rogan's face about the whole Hillary thing. He told Joe Rogan, "I never said I was going to lock her up." He said that was always the crowd.
I remember you exposing that one of your live streams before, and that was like, wow, Donald Trump blatantly lying.
I mean, lied straight to his face.
And
dude.
Hillary and him are cousins, for one. He was a welcome guest at her wedding was it a wedding for her daughter, I believe. He went to the daughter's wedding, and they've been friends. They go to parties and banquets all through the 90s together.
Now, hold on. How do we know they're cousins? But what's the relation?
I don't know the exact relation, but it's been a lot of people say they're cousins, and they were good friends before they ran against each other in 2016.
Well, yeah, they was tight. They was running around with his homeboy was a pedo, convicted sex offender, right?
Of course. And then Trump was going to Epstein Island, hung out with Epstein all the dang time, man. So this whole thing that Trump is this good guy, and also Trump is basically taking it has the same kind of biography, a very similar biography to Ronald Reagan. He took his slogan, "Make America Great Again." People forget Ronald Reagan, that was his slogan. And Ronald Reagan was a popular actor before he became president.
Right. I did not know that was Ronald Reagan's slogan.
Yes, you can look it up. Ronald Reagan's slogan was "Make America Great Again."
Wow.
Back in the 80s. And
wow.
And then look at Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan says, I'm pro-gun and all this stuff. and he made the worst gun control bill in 1986, where it banned, totally infringed on the Second Amendment, because the whole idea of the Second Amendment, because the Constitution is I call the Constitution, my friend Bill Greathouse calls the Constitution a con job. The whole point of the Constitution, but it says in the Constitution the Second Amendment shall not be infringed, right? No infringement at all. So that means the population can have the same, as a soldier in the active army, a civilian should be able to have access to the same weaponry as a single soldier has in the active army, right? So they should be able to have full auto, grenades, and scopes, high capacity pistol, whatever they want, right? But now they've infringed on it where you can't have full auto as a civilian anymore.
Do you feel like because I know you do you still keep in contact with like people from the military?
Only mainly one guy that I served with. That's he's from New Zealand. We talk on a weekly basis, and we sometimes game together. But he's really the only one I stay in contact with from the military, because most of them weren't good dudes, man.
When you were in the military, like the people did they have, because there's this guy that goes on this, oh my god, the sniper, the black dude with the dreads, you know who I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, he does these interviews, and you know he gives a lot of insight, but it's like, do these people in the military that's risking their lives, do they kind of like, do they have respect for these politicians, or do they kind of see through?
Oh yeah, most of a lot of military, it's going to be right now in the military, because the military has gotten woke recent in the last decade. But right now it's going to be 60% are pro Trump and 40% are straight Democrat. I had an NCO one time who was just ranting how much he loved Trump right in our duty station, and we were just getting sick of it, because he was just basically doing, deriding like Joe Rogan. He said Joe Rogan did, So it's like you have a lot of Trump acolytes up in there, but then you have a lot of woke people. You have a lot of people that don't even want, they're totally against the Second Amendment. They're, got a lot of rainbow people now. So you got, it's crazy, but you have a big schism between, it's an artificial divide and conquer schism of these neoconservatives, and then you have the woke libtards. You have libtards in the active military right now,
bro. And I think that's something nobody really talks about, the different factions within, like, the ideologies, within the military. Like,
oh yeah, you got you got guys that are like, especially like these guys that make a little bit enlisted rank, late 30s, a lot in late 30s, early 40s, early 50s, old white guys. They'll be staunch pro Trump, staunch conservative, but they're just, they don't even realize how dumb they are, because they're staunch for a party that doesn't care nothing about them. Then you have the staunch Democrats; they're staunch for a party they don't care nothing about, but they're all pro LGBTQIARE, and they're all pro all this stuff. And you have a lot of rainbow people. Now it's cool in the military now, where you could be a black, dark skinned dude and you can dye your hair blonde. As long as you cut it within some regulations, it's cool.
damn, this is crazy.
And now you can have tattoos, rainbow unicorns on your neck, and it's cool. See, back in the day, you used to not have to have any. You couldn't have any tattoos on your neck. Now, but it's still hard to grow a beard in the active military. Like, they put you have to jump through a lot of hoops. You gotta get a doctor sign off that you have get bumps when you shave. To have a beard up in there, but to have a rainbow tattoo on your neck, that's cool. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on that doesn't even make any sense.
I want to play this clip right here and get your reaction to it.
Child sex trafficking rackets.
With your vote, we will seal the border, stop the invasion, and launch the largest deportation effort in American history. We will impose tough new.
Yo, I can't fucking volume up. Your Rumble is retarded. What the hell? It won't let me scroll the volume up. Oh my god. Hold on. Oh, this is so stupid.
Sentences on illegal alien criminals. These include 10-year mandatory minimum sentence for anyone guilty of human smuggling, a guaranteed life sentence for anyone guilty of child trafficking, and a death penalty for anyone guilty of child or woman sex trafficking. We will liberate our country from the illegal alien drug dealers, robbers, murderers, gang members, and child predators. And we will make America safe again for our citizens and make it greater, stronger, better, more beautiful than ever before.
Compare Trump's
So-
new presidency to the degraded
So the biggest hustle in the world, is sex trafficking. Like, selling fucking human beings, trafficking human beings. And this guy, in my opinion, I don't even think he's gonna get rid of the Federal Reserve or the IRS and all this legal taxing, but he's talking about giving a death penalty to motherfuckers.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. You never giving government more power is very dangerous because what's the old saying goes? I think the saying goes, the government is a good servant but a terrible master, meaning that if you control the government, great for you, right? But if it's ruling over you, okay, you're going to have a life of woe because you've given now this evil entity this much power. You're giving them the right. How many people are they going to execute that are not actually guilty of the crime of trafficking? Or maybe they're maybe you're gonna have people that are maybe in the same family as people are traffickers, but they're gonna probably execute the whole family. So that's what's the whole danger about giving these governments that much power to take life after they swing a gavel. It's like, how could they do? They're gonna kill about 20% innocent people probably in doing this.
Mm. You got Joe Biden out here sucking on babies' toes and shit.
The man is a straight freak.
Yo, this is crazy. This is insane, dude. So because they brought out that little girl in one of her schools. She went to the school and she made like a whole chart. It was like her research paper or whatever, and she showed how every president was related to one of the kings. I can't remember the king. I don't remember the king. But so with that logic, Joe Biden is related to Donald Trump, you think?
I think they're all didn't come out in the media. I think about 10 years ago, a grade school student, they allowed the story to somehow get out as a mockery to us, but they revealed that a lot of the top actors and in the last 50 presidents have all been related. Not the last 50. I'm sorry, there's only been 47, but I think the last 20 presidents have all been related.
Yeah, it was that little girl, that little white girl.
Yeah, a little white girl. Yep. And she revealed that like Brad Pitt, George Clooney, Donald Trump, even Will Smith, even Obama are all distant cousins. So the top actors, see, and that's the whole thing about I hope that this doesn't hurt your channel saying just Illuminati, but this is the whole thing about the Illuminati. They control all areas of that human activity, like Mr. Fuller talks about. I don't know if you watch Mr. Fuller, but he always just he talked about the 9 areas of major activity, right? Economics, education, law, religion, war, sex, and I forget. I always forget a few of them, but there's 9 areas of human activity, right? According to him, right? He just broke down the 9 areas of life. Generally, people are engaging in one of those areas at any time, and a lot of times the areas intersect. Because and so they control every major area of human activity. So therefore, entertainment. I think it's education, entertainment, education, law, war, sex, and religion. I might have missed one, but anyway, the 9 areas of major activity of human behavior right now. So at any given time, people are either engaging in one of all of those activities. So They control so the entertainment totally control, whether it's music, whether it's movies, whether it's podcasters, whether it's news, whether it's just TV show, all that. They control all of it. And then they control, of course, politics completely. They control the money completely. Rothschild said you can use my money to buy your property, but I own it, and then I will give you your perishables like your food, but I own all the property you buy with my money.
Bro, it's like a monopoly on humanity.
Yeah, so it's once a complete monopoly, but they won't even grid. See, there's still a little bit of freedom right now. See, they're soon going to make it where there'll be absolutely no freedom. So what I mean by that, you can kind of quantify freedom. So they're going to make it where you're going to bring in a social credit score to where if you go speak out against any major agenda, they will lower your social credit score where you won't be able to get any money. Or you won't be able to rent a house or buy a house. Then they'll make it where they'll probably make a centralized world current cryptocurrency that everyone must use, and it only is taken as payment. It's the only thing I'm being taken as payment. Then after they do that, they will, of course, move on, and they will also lock it down where, they're going to make it basically they're going to shut you off if you go against them in the future because it's going to be totally locked down. And then they're going to cull the herd with a major event.
Maybe like a blackout type of deal.
They're going to release a disease, or they're going to do another big attack.
Yeah.
And then they're going to kill off a lot of, I messed up. Unalive a lot of people.
You bring up that word right there. 43 monkeys escaped South Carolina research facility. I think this was today. Police warn residents to lock doors and windows. They escaped out of, I guess they were doing tests on them.
They're saying that these primates broke loose and they're out setting traps, and they've got thermal imaging up with cameras trying to find these monkeys. Apparently, the Yemisi Police Department said that they have not found a single one of these monkeys. Again, they're coming from an area where they do research on these animals. It's reminiscent to what happened a few years back in Pennsylvania when a truck turned over and those research monkeys got loose and actually attacked a woman, and we never heard anything about her after that.
Yep, I remember that, bro. I did a video on that. One of the monkeys bit a bitch. And we never heard anything, man. We don't know if she turned into a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle or whatever happened to it, man.
It sounds like, I don't know if you ever seen the British zombie movie or infected movie, 20 Days Later?
I heard of it. I might have seen it.
Yeah, check. It was only an hour and 30 minutes, I think, man. Check out that movie. But that movie starts out with them experimenting on monkeys, and they make what's called a rage disease in them, and then the monkey escapes, bites a person, they turn into an infected, where they're not undead per se, but they're just run around feral, and they eat, become cannibal, feral, and when they bite you, you turn into another infected in like 2 hours. And so it just goes on. It's not George Romero zombie, but they're like infected fast zombies. They're not zombies really per se. Their brain is dead, but their body's still alive. So if you destroy their body, they die. But they so they're still alive, and you can unalive them, but they run around super high speed. Kind of like Zombieland, but not undead. Yeah, 20 Days Later, where it opens up with the monkey escaping from a facility in England.
Bro, it's always like the same thing with Contagion. I think that came from, that came from a bat. I think it came from. Unbelievable, dude.
Yeah, they unalive Gwyneth Paltrow in Contagion. I've never seen Contagion, though, but I've seen 20 Days Later.
You never seen Contagion, bro?
No.
Oh shit, dude! Contagion was literally they stole the whole CV-19. How when it first came out, it's literally Contagion. You gotta watch Contagion, bro. It's literally like when like we literally was like, bro, this is they stole this from the movie because they were saying somebody was eating bat soup or some shit, right? Some shit
Yeah,
like
yeah, something
that.
like that, right?
I was eating bats. It was something to do with bats. Because in the movie in Contagion, I think it went from a bat, the disease or whatever. It went from a bat to a pig, and then I think somebody ate the pig at like a casino or something, and in China, and then they brought it back home, something like that. You know, but it all starts because these people because of gain of function. It's all starting because these people are playing God. They're doing shit they don't have no business doing. If he wasn't out here playing with all of these, playing with all of these doing all these bullshit experiments, we would never ever be in these situations. That's the real problem, but nobody ever talks about that.
Yeah, exactly. And then you got CERN doing what they're doing over there
Yeah, right.
in Europe.
Yo, dude, CERN is a whole rabbit hole in itself. Like I remember during the eclipse, CERN was out there blasting missiles into the sky, doing all of these experiments and shit, bro. It's just like they really just don't give a damn about preserving, this planet. They're going out of their way to just destroy it or make it their
Well,
own.
sometimes when I first heard of David Icke, I was like, oh, okay, this guy is just clearly out of his mind. Then you start to think about it. It's like, huh, maybe of course, he's an agent, but he speaks a lot of truth. And then about the whole, where's the secret extra dimensional presence running, or secretly the elite or extra dimensional presence, reptilian interdimensional presence like that. Hey, it started to make more sense because it's like maybe they are some type of different life form like they live. Because why would you be destroying the place where you live like that?
Yeah, it don't make any damn sense. And so kind of just going back a little bit, like I had an idea for a movie, and I don't know if there's ever been a movie like this before. But I wouldn't be surprised. But I've never seen one where it's like, okay, basically it's election season, and humanity unites finally after years of just being mentally raped, whatever, just pillaged on every level. Um, when it comes to their freedom, and the election comes around, and no human in the country or on the planet votes, right? No one casts their vote, right? What will happen after that? Like with the Matrix,
Oh, the one, they would
break,
still say that people did vote on the media, but they just said it was an epically low turnout. They probably would just cover it like that. They would say epically low turnout, and then they would just still the electoral college would still put in the next puppet in
but the
place anyway.
but the reason why I say that is because how they what they call it, I guess they call it the revelation of the method or something like that. They're what you just said, they're not allowed to do that, right? Don't they need it's mandatory that they need our consent, our
Well, no,
vote.
they still have your consent because you still have a
God
birth
damn it.
certificate. You're still a U.S. citizen.
I knew you was
You
gonna
just
say that.
retracted consent in one way, but you didn't fully retract your consent. That's why they would still be able to install
Damn. So
to install a next puppet.
so that movie gets even deeper. So now the movie would be you have a whole bunch of people that purposefully don't have like they don't make their kids have birth certificates.
If you had a 100% like you're talking about, good luck on getting that because people can't agree on what's their favorite flavor of ice cream. They can't agree on if the sky is blue or not. So good luck getting people to wake up to that on that level. But if you had people waking up on that level worldwide or at least nationwide, we would have a chance of taking the country back because even despite all their energy weapons and all their tanks and all their soldiers, remember the military is only, I think, total 2 million people are in the military, including the reserves, only 2 million people. Then you got the police are only 1.5 million people of every agency, FBI, federal police included. So, of course, if it's true that if their census is true and we have 330 million people that all said we're not taking it no more, they couldn't unalive that many. We would take some casualties, but it wouldn't be they wouldn't be able to wipe everyone out. So then you could take the country back. But good luck, because the people we go through 13 years of education and so-called school, and then we're lied to on the TV set day in and day out. Most people actually believe the election, but I call it the selection matters.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, just going back to when you were talking about people waking up. I just found this channel where this guy, I'll play the video, but this guy pays people essentially to wake up. It's kind of.
Are you about to go get McDonald's? Well, I'm doing a challenge today. It's $20 to not get McDonald's. I run a health and wellness page, and I'm very anti-McDonald's. There's anti-foaming agents in the fries. Processed seed oils. Everybody knows this thing. Everybody I've talked to, they go, I know, it's my unhealthy habit. $20, you go get something healthier instead. We're in San Diego. There's tons of healthy food. What do you think? Yeah, are you getting something for the kids? You don't want to get the kids hooked on McDonald's. You know what's so funny? McDonald's is different than when you guys were getting McDonald's when you were young. The ingredients are vastly different. It is not wheat, sugar. It is 50 ingredients in some of these things. It's different now. It's that simple. There's no catch to it. It's just $20 and you guys just pull out and get something healthier. You're down? There you go. Let's go. Brendan, nice to meet you. Yeah, make America healthy.
So it's like, I'm not perfect, bro. I ate McDonald's last month, you know what I mean? And I was fucking shitting McFetus. It was bad. But it's like these people pull up to the drive-thru. They know they're literally ordering poison. They know they're paying for poison, and that shit is going to sit. That poison is going to sit in their body and slow kill them. And this guy just walks up to them and says, I'll pay you not to kill yourself and not to feed the beast system and shit like that. It's sad that money, people have to be paid to save their own, save their own lives or their kids' lives. You know what I'm saying? All these kids that's in the back seat eating these Happy Meals and shit like that. It's
my acquaintance Bill Greathouse compared to this. Say someone breaks in on you, and you might have you have a weapon yourself per se. Let's say you live in a place where you can have a legal weapon. But some people, they feel they have to be paid to defend themselves against a person coming in to harm them. That's what it's like. That's like being a truce. He's a big one, so I'll say his name, Mark Passio. Total shill, claims to be ex-Satanist, but still seems like he's still in the Church of Satan. He claims that he needs to be paid to give us truth. If he was sincere, he would do it for free. But he's not sincere. He's only there for the money. He doesn't cover that it's the banking class and others that are holding. I mean, primarily the banking class, and then and then it trickles down to other places in life, right? You take them out, the system is, you can fix the system, right? Or the best, we could never have utopia, but we can have a better system. But he never gives any actual solutions. He'd rather go on a 2-hour rant about people eating meat, or that people need to understand his version of natural law, moral law, or whatever he talks about. So, you have all these shills that they have to be paid to tell truth. You know that they're not sincere because they have to be paid.
And in the military, is there like a faction of truth seekers, like how they have
No. Very few people in the military are awake. Some are very few. It's a very small number, because you have to be in the military. You have to be very, very careful, because you'll have people that will, if you start bringing up something, for example, and we'll call it 911 was done by the powers that be, right? Not a guy in a cave, right? So then, if you bring that up, they might report you. They might report you to your commanding officer or your NCO in charge of you, depending on your rank. So it's like, yeah, you got to be very careful because you got a lot of like thought police up in there that are, they might pretend to be on your side at first, and then they're not on your side. So awake people in the military is very rare. Most people took the jab in there. That goes to show you how that 99% of the military took the jab. Only 1% said no, and we were all discharged.
Damn. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's crazy.
And most of them are feminists up in there, and most of them are now the rainbow officially. Now you have conservative people that claim to be against it, but the doctrine of the military now is rainbow is law. So you have to, if a person comes in there and they say they were born a male and they want to be a girl, you have to refer to them as a girl now, and it's complete insanity to a sane person, but that's the doctrine of it now.
Wanted to get your opinion on this guy Elon and Trump. Like, what do you feel like Elon wants from Trump, vice versa? What do you feel like Trump wants from Elon?
Oh, but remember, the world is a stage and they're all actors. So Elon is playing his role as this big genius tech guy when he was put in position to be that. And then Trump is playing the role of the former businessman turned politician role. Okay, so they're just acting out a script. It's almost like acting like it's like saying, what does Batman want from Superman? They're fictional characters, whatever the writer says they want.
Damn.
So yeah, but they're actually see what Elon Musk and Trump. I'm saying they're flesh and blood people. But I don't think they're cyborgs. I don't think that whether they're interdimensional reptiles is irrelevant to me as well for this example. But it's like they are acting out a script. Even when they beef with each other, that's a script. Just like the whole Kendrick versus Drake thing is a script.
And it's like I always wanted Kendrick because once upon a time Kendrick was my favorite rapper, and I always wanted Kendrick to be the number one rapper, and I knew he had to go through Drake, but it seemed like he took his time, and I always wondered why he waited so long to even go back and forth with him. It's just and I wouldn't be surprised if they were both, if they both had a fucking apron, or they was both doing some weird shit in the basement of the lodge, or whatever the case may be. And that's why I don't idol worship any of these people, because you don't know what these people do behind closed doors. But
exactly, man. I could break down Kendrick real fast and hurry for you. So Kendrick, his first, I looked it up. He was signed to a major record label, Interscope, since he was 16. Okay, that goes to show you who he is. So he's not some random guy. And then he also he made a song called Loyalty several years ago. I think it came out 2017. What is
Rihanna?
that? 7 years ago. So he made a song called Loyalty with Rihanna.
Yeah.
And the song says, "We're a secret society, and all we got is us." So, and the music video starts out in a red room with all these hot chicks around him, and they have a ritualistic blade they're holding, and right when they're about to hit him with the blade, they cut to the next scene. Kendrick's one of his albums is called Damn, right? And he looks like he's possessed by a demon on that album cover, and it's called Damn, like he damned his soul. So he's basically telling you in a secret way, he damned his soul back in 2017. I mean, but he already had it. He already sold out before that. Then Kendrick's supposed to be a conscious rapper, but his hit songs are, when he first came out, his number one song was "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe" about drinking, and then what was it, "Money Trees"? That's still some ghetto stuff, and then it's also his other hit song was "Poetic Justice," just rapping about trying to holler at some girl. So I don't see what people say that Kendrick is conscious. Like he comes out with a so-called conscious song once every blue moon. I mean, I think Dwayne needs to break him down. I don't know if Dwayne ever broke down Kendrick for real, for real. I think he's only mentioned him a few times. I think Dwayne he's due for a breakdown.
First thing that stuck out with me is when I saw him when he was wearing that like diamond crown, thorn crown, like like how they depict Jesus or whatever. Did you ever
Of
see
course,
that?
he's going to use Jesus imagery because
Yeah.
Jesus is a character. So he's going to use that imagery to get Christians on his side. He's going to use for the Black conscious community. He's going to come out with occasional conscious lyrics on occasion, but he's not on the level of Dead Presidents or Public Enemy. Every single song those guys make, occasionally they make a part. They make Kendrick is the opposite of like Public Enemy always make conscious songs. Then until Flavor Flav went and left the group, and then it's and then Dead Prez. They make 9% conscious songs. Underground rappers, Dead Prez from Florida, they make the 9% of the songs are conscious, and then 10% are party songs. So Kendrick's the opposite. 9% of his songs are party songs, and then 5% are conscious. So Kendrick is selling the fiction that he's a conscious rapper when nothing could be further from the truth. Even though I understand he's a good lyricist, he has a good flow, but you have to look past that. Of course, they're going to get a talented dude to be the top rapper.
Yeah, it's just like it just sucks, man. It just fucking sucks.
And then you got
man.
Drake, for example, man. Drake is he's a woo. He might look kind of black, but he's a woo. His mom is wooish, right?
Yeah.
Then he's really an R&B singer. His most of his songs, I can't consider most of his songs rap, hip hop, or none of that. They're really R&B songs.
Yeah, man. This guy, it's just so like it's just all fabricated. It's all like manipulated. That's why I don't listen to music. It's hard. It's hard
Yeah,
to
man, because
find
music
artists.
is their number one thing that they use to ensnare your mind. Because they want you to auto worship these fools, and these fools are sold out. A small channel just exposed Doja Cat, right? Her latest music video, I think it's called "Paint the Town Red." Her latest song, right? Her latest single. She is dancing with the Grim Reaper. Then she looks like the devil in one of the images of the music video. You know how crazy and far out music videos are now. She's dancing on a dragon with a fake weave on, and then she looks like the devil in some of the scenes of the music video.
Yeah, but then she came out and said she wasn't emulating that. I don't know if you saw that. She came out and said she wasn't trying to be a devil worshiper or whatever.
Well, with devil worshippers, everything it's opposite day with them. Everything they say is the opposite.
Yeah. This guy, Robert F. Kennedy. Okay, apparently he's trying to make America healthy again. Are you buying that, or
You talking about the guy, part of the Kennedy family? The son of the guy that got unalive.
Fucked up voice guy.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. He's a son of Robert F. Kennedy, the original.
Yeah. Check this
RFK Jr. Yeah, I don't buy it, man. I feel he's another plant like Al Gore was doing in the 2000s, saying global warming, when his whole agenda is to give us a carbon tax. Klaus Schwab said earlier this, I think he said late last year that we're going to eat bugs, we're going to own nothing and be happy.
That shit is crazy, dude. Like, and then they were talking about, how they're trying to get rid of fluoride. They might get rid of fluoride, I guess in the water or whatever.
That's BS, man. Fluoride is what they use in prison. They just increase the intensity in prison to make the inmates a little more docile, so they don't attack the guards as much, because they really don't care if they attack each other. They get a kick out watching them attack each other. But that's what they use to keep them they really don't mind the violence. It's really critical thinking See, fluoride lowers your critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
It puts your brain in a fog. So that's what they want. They don't. You can still, you still be violent and dumb, but your critical thinking skills are going to be handicapped.
Man. So a lot of what concerned me, man, because only time I pay attention to any of this political shit, because I just feel like politics is the biggest scam known to man since the beginning of humanity. I pay attention just to do research, just to whatever. But like a lot of people in the truth community were so like on the election night, they were just so entertained and almost like happy, about what was happening. And I'm like, I thought the whole point of waking up was to just now that we're we understand what's going on in this world, we're supposed to ignore it. We're not supposed to feed into it. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was the whole point of waking up. It's like
it depends on who he's talking about, man. Because you got a lot of people that say they just like to say they're awake because they watched The Matrix one time, but they're not awake at all. They're just totally asleep at the wheel. But they say they're awake because they watched The Matrix and then watch maybe They Lived before they say they're awake. They just like the terminology. But how could you be awake if you're still falling into the political theater?
Yeah, like it's not entertaining. I don't know. I'm just at personally. I'm at a certain point where like I'd be fine if I never seen anything, if I never had to debunk anything or decode anything or expose anything for the rest of my life. I'd be perfectly fine with that, to be honest with you, because this shit, it's a distraction in my opinion, and I don't feel like giving this stuff my energy anymore. That's where I'm at, to be honest, man.
It's just like, yeah, man, you got so many people, but I like there's this concept they came out with about 10 years ago. But even though they give us some truth sometimes out there, the information, you have to weed through the wheat and the chaff, basically. So there was this concept that came out called the spiral of memes. And no, we're not talking about memes like Velociraptor. We're talking about the spiral of memes was a concept of society goes through the different phases. For example, like I think the first meme of life was just the family meme, then the tribal meme, then the shaman and religious meme, then the imperialistic meme, then the capitalistic meme, then the communist meme, and then the next one is just, and then they go into level 7, which is kind of like more like esoteric. But a lot of people that can wake up to you have a lot of people that love capitalism, this cruddy capitalist system we have, but they critique government. So I call those people like they're stuck at level 5. And then you have people that they don't see nothing, so they're stuck at like level 3 because they don't even see that when you cast your vote, it don't do nothing. And when is the government ever, after you cast your vote, does Donald Trump come to you and says, "What do you think is best for the country? What do you think I should do?" He never asks you anything. See, government is. That's what Dr. Ray talked about last Sunday. He says the government runs, I think it's called ad patri, which it means legalese is Latin legalese for they run the country like you're a child of the state. So a parent, when they pay your bills, when you're a newborn baby and they do all the house affairs, they don't ask you nothing because you're a baby. They don't got to ask you nothing. Just like that's what the government runs. They treat you like a child. They don't ask you nothing. They ask you which caretaker do you want? You want this scumbag over here, this scum woman over here, or what do you want? And then you're like, I want that one because he's funny, or I want her because she kind of has a slight tint of hue to her skin, even though she's a blatant criminal. Okay, then like, okay, we'll give you this guy, okay? Because most people voted for this clown that we already put in. We already selected him anyway, but we'll give you illusion of choice. And then so he gets in there and does whatever he wants to do. So, I mean, it's totally blatantly corrupt, but people just cannot. Those 13 years of school, then plus the television, then plus the internet lines, it's all this stuff. They cannot wake up.
Yeah, the fluoride, the chemtrails, the soy.
Chemtrails, fluoride. propaganda in the media,
bro, it's just like they got it. They scientifically have
spending
broken
all your
it down.
time at work. You know, a lot of
Yup,
things keep people distracted,
yup,
chasing, chasing sex or whatever,
yup.
chasing drugs or whatever. So many things keep people distracted.
Then when you hear people try to have a real conversation, it's just the most cringe shit in the world because it's like, oh wow, like you really have no idea what the fuck
It's like
what
watching
the
two
fuck
sheep
you're
go up to each
talking
other say
about.
"bah." You know, they don't and the wolf is just laughing at them.
Yeah, man. It's just so crazy when these people know more about like movies or sports than their own like country. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, to get tied up in movies and sports, that is a waste of time. You're tied up in entertainment. And entertainment, if you look up the roots of the word entertainment, it also means to intertwine you or ensnare you. So it ensnares your mind in entertainment. Therefore, you're not thinking about a way to liberate yourself. You know, in ancient Latin, the word for book was the same the word for liberty. I think it was libre. So book meant in ancient Latin, libre means book, and libre means freedom. That's where we get the term liberty from and library from.
yeah,
So you have to, but a lot of you have to be careful though, because I got a acquaintance that we don't even speak anymore because the guy has severe learning disability. So this guy has severe learning disability that still lives with his mom. But hey, I'm not hating. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not hating on him. But he lives only an hour from me. But the guy doesn't own a car. He lives at home with his mom. But he claims to be awake. But all he does is read books. He watches YouTube on occasion, but he mainly watches shill channels like Mark Passio and Larkin Rose. Okay, these guys are complete agent shills, but he thinks those guys are going to help him wake up. Then because he has a learning disability. He's actually a redneck descent person that he has a learning disability. I don't know if his family line interbred at any point and then gave him predisposition to be learning disability. Then plus all the jabs they give you as a baby that can give you those learning disabilities as well, I believe. So I think there's a lot of evidence for it. But you got a lot of people that they sit around and even reading books. You got to be careful because all these guys like Bertrand Russell, Alan Watt, they're going to give you like 50 to 70% truth, and they're going to give you 30% to 50% lie.
that's real shit. Let me see if I can play this. It's saying that because this we're going super low vibrational right now. Talking points. They said there's so many videos of black women demonizing black men who here comes the gender war, whatever. Voted for Trump. Here's a proud woman who was thankful for all the black men who voted for Trump. This is just the stupidest shit. Let me know if you can hear this.
I just have to say, if you voted for Trump and you're a black man, thank you.
You can hear this?
Yeah, I'm hearing it.
And I thank you because I know exactly why you voted for Trump. You voted for secure borders so that women and children can be safe. You
Trump's supposed to have the wall up. How many years ago, bitch? What are you talking about?
voted for a strong economy so that us women and children can be provided for. You voted for our children to not be indoctrinated in this failed public school system. You voted for my right to not have to use the bathroom with a biological man. You also voted for our children not to be drafted into another endless, senseless war that only benefits the military industrial.
Thoughts on that? You think Donald Trump is gonna? He's not gonna get people, drafted and stuff like that. I think you should mute it. Let's see. Armchair. Yeah. If you're talking, I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was talking. I saying I'm sorry. I didn't unmute myself. Said this lady looks like she's out. Like the lights are on, but no one's home. You got to, to believe that Trump is going to do all these things like he promised in his campaign trail is, man. I got a bridge to sell you if you believe that. And I got some beachfront property in Kansas City to sell you. Okay, because if you believe that, man, dang, man, because Trump, the border in El Paso, I was stationed in El Paso in the military, right? And the border, and they have a 20-foot wall in the city limits, but there's gaps in the border, and Border Patrol can't catch them all. They can pay them, and they're paying those fools $100,000. Mainly, they hire other Mexicans. They don't catch them all. So there's Mexicans born on the Texas side. So it's like, man, it's they cannot catch them all. There's no evidence that Trump is there to bring down the economy. He's there to increase tariffs. He's going to just do this whole thing to make him look good, like he's going to execute and unalive dudes for trafficking. When they're probably only still only catch 1% of them. So I mean, good luck. I mean.
Yo, this shit is crazy, bro. And she was talking about, basically preventing. She didn't want to see more, young men get drafted and things of that nature. Do you think we're going to
Trump
go to war?
there probably won't be a draft, but Trump is going to go to war with somebody. Probably, he probably was in the script for him to go to war with somebody. And then this whole thing about him getting against the whole 3-bathroom thing or people in the wrong bathroom. There's no evidence that Trump is against that agenda. I never heard him really say anything about that. And if he does, he's still probably going to not do anything about it. Because they would still, the military was still rainbow when he was in office.
Right. And it's just pathetic because it's like, because to have like this, whoever's talking about shit like this, like black men and black women mad at each other, like, bro, you're spiritually dead already. Because it's like, you shouldn't even be voting anyway. But it's just like, it's just sad because the community was fucking tortured and raised in tortured and whatever. It's like they really do. They like treat you like a piece of shit, like you're less than a human being if you do, if you're like, you don't vote for whoever the black people was supposed to vote for. So I guess black people were supposed to vote for Kamala this year. And if you didn't vote for Kamala, you're like a sellout. But in reality, if you voted for either of these motherfuckers that promote tyranny and shit, you're a sellout.
They did the same thing for Obama's 2 terms.
Yeah,
and then they wanted to pull the same. They tried to do the same stuff for Kamala, but even with normies, some of them started to wake up and realize that Kamala is married to
a Jew,
a white boy, Rick, and then she's not even really black herself. I mean, she's really not. I mean, she's really a East Indian person.
Right. Her mother is Indian. Her father is her father is Jamaican, and I heard he was born in like South Africa or some shit. Some weird ass way. Correct me,
dude. Even if he's Jamaican, okay. So what? Obama supposedly was half African, did nothing for black people, and I feel that Obama was his father actually was just a weird rainbow communist from Chicago. Because his actual father is Frank Marshall Davis, not the random dead African they gave us. That was not his father. You could tell they had no resemblance. The other guy, Frank Marshall Davis, who he's listed as a mentor in his autobiography or his, ghost-written autobiography, he mentions Frank Marshall Davis, but Frank Marshall Davis was a known rainbow black communist living in Chicago. So that looks just like him.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but like Jamaican is, in my opinion, I don't want to say my opinion, but Jamaican isn't black. Jamaican is Jamaican. Jamaican is a nationality. Black is a color, not a race. Now, if you're talking about an American black nigga, like was Kamala raised as like how I was raised around black Americans, aka niggas? Did she come from a nigga culture? Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe she did. You know what I mean?
No, she did not. and she was one groomed to be in that position, and then two, she did not. I mean, she was groomed and slept her way to the top in politics.
Right.
And also, yeah, you could consider, yes, are Jamaicans African descent people that have dark skin? Yes, but that is still, even if she is, you want to consider her half black. Still, she doesn't care about the black population in America or black people worldwide. She does not. You can just tell that she does not.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know why they was trying to push that so hard. One, like, as if, I don't know.
And she doesn't look black. She looks like she really looks like a manly white lady to me. That's what she looks like to me.
She looked like she got a fucking mask on.
That's another thing that looks very suspicious about her. She looks like she's a big old Frankenstein head with a mask on.
She looked out. I was looking at her in one of her speeches or whatever she was. I'm like, bro, it looked like she could take her face off.
Like Nicolas Cage in that 90s movie.
Shit. So I guess one of my last questions is, man, like, armchair revolutionary, do you consider yourself like a spiritual person? Do you believe in God or any type of religion or, like, creator?
No,
Like,
what Dr. Williams taught me, I don't hang on his every word, but what he taught me was that, us African descent people, we in ancient Egypt and in the ancient African empires of the past, we did not have a religion. We had a spiritual way of life. So we just understood that we have a spiritual way of life. We have a spirit in our body given to us by our physical parents, and we do not need a religion. We do not need to go to an actual temple and bow down, especially for some dead Caucasian on a tree or cross, or we don't have to bow down before a dead Arab, whether he existed or not, in a mosque somewhere. We don't have to bow down before or call ourselves Hebrews and run around and say all this nonsense. We have a spiritual way of life. We live in balance with nature and in harmony, and we don't have to have a religion, because religion, we look at the root word of religion. It means, I think the root word is relegare, which means to hold back. So religion, all it does is hold you back and limit your thinking and cause confusion. Because I never had I asked a Christian guy I was in the army with. Now he's a white guy from New Zealand, but I asked him, like, what does religion or what does Christianity give you? And they can never give me a clear answer. They were like, well, it gives you a spiritual, they always come up with all these stuff. And the bottom line is, but another thing Dr. Williams taught us is that there's never been a person that existed named Jesus the Christ. There was no J's. What letter J did not exist 2,000 years ago, because the letter J only had been around 400 years when they broke apart the letter I to make J. So, we know a person named Jesus the Christ did not exist, and there's no accounts of anyone walking on water from a reputable source 2,000 years ago. The only one we have is a forgery, because the guy's name was Josephus, supposedly living in the 1st century. And there was no J in the 1st century.
Dude, well, when you read shit like this, shout out to, this is a Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, I don't know. I think this is a parody, so maybe this might not be her real account. But it says, shout out to Elon Musk and Donald Trump for saving America. Jesus Christ truly delivered. But even going back to the whole, like, the shooting situation or the attempted assassination, the whole narrative was, a God. This was a divine moment right here, and I'm just like, I don't think God gives a fuck about America, to be honest with you. I don't think God is worried about what's going on down here, the stupid shit that these lizard people are, the propaganda they're pushing. I don't think God cares about that. You know what I'm saying? And
the Christian concept of God, it comes from basically Zeus, a mean, wicked white man riding around on a cloud that, he wants to, you don't know if he's gonna unalive you or save you. You don't know. So it's like, I think that I would say that God is man taking the creator and putting him in a man's clothing.
Right.
So I don't even like to refer to creation, the higher power, as God, because it's like it has so many connotations already ruined by these major religions that they force down our throats. Because when you're a little kid, you don't have a choice. Your parents say you're going to get baptized at age so and so, and you say, okay. They force you to go to Sunday school every Sunday, or sometimes 2 days a week, and you're like, okay, you have to.
So,
okay, yeah, that was a rainbow.
Yo, I don't know what this motherfucker looked like. Look like one of those actors. I can't remember their name. He looks just like the dude that was in Born Identity.
It looks like Matt Damon for real.
Yeah, it looks like they came from the same laboratory or some shit. Unbelievable. So kind of like, so do you feel like the creator gives a fuck about what's going on in this realm, or not really so much?
I think that that he does or I think it's a it's hard to it's just a little hard to explain, but I'm going to try my best. I think that making it simpler for us using the avatars of ancient Egypt, I think it's both a male and a female spirit of creation. So I don't think they're in one conscious. I think they're two separate male and female spirits of creation, right? So it's like he does care, but he only maybe interacts in limited ways. He's mainly like the clockmaker analogy. He makes the clock and lets it run. But I think he might just be doing it for his own him and her are just doing it for their own entertainment.
Yeah, man. Then they brought the Amish people into this shit. I guess they're saying Amish people came out and they pushed I guess Pennsylvania.
And aren't they supposed to not care about the affairs of man if they're Amish?
I was like, wait, Amish people allowed to vote? Bro, it just feels like, oh, the simulation is simulating, bro. This is insane. Insane. I didn't even know that.
When
was
have
like,
Amish people ever voted? I don't know the history of that. So I don't know the history of these farmers that are basically this weird version of Protestant Christianity that I thought they weren't allowed to participate. But hey, I mean, they can. Did they change the script for them, and now they're allowed to participate? Did their top clergy allow them to participate now because their clergy were paid off to say this?
Oh, wow. And as far as this like mass deportation shit that Donald Trump is promising, do you think it's possible that could kick off, like, if these the immigrants fight back? You think that could kick off kind of like a civil war type of situation?
Oh no, I think that talk is cheap. I don't think that he when he was in the first time, he didn't really he deported some, but not as many as I think it was exaggeration how many people got deported. So I think talk is cheap. Donald Trump, every time he gets in, he's going to talk all this stuff, this tough guy stuff, and then he's not going to do anything.
Let's close it out on Cardi B.
Hey, so listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little trumpets, like, y'all won. I know you're happy, whatever the fuck. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the fuck alone, because I got one more fucking cigarette in me before I start lighting your asses up, all right? And that's word to the United States of motherfucking America. Yeah. Hey, so listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now.
We live in a world where people give a fuck about this. I don't even know. I don't want to give her too much credit and say human being. Whatever the fuck entity this is, we live in a world people give a fuck about what she has to say.
What'd she do to her face?
I mean, what didn't she do to her face, bro? 3.4 million views. So
Off of a fool. They used to sell her body. I mean,
I'm glad that he's president, because I'm over it. I'm over the whole Trump thing, man. Like, I'm ready. I'm kind of wish these 4 years go by real fast so we can just move on to the next thing. You know what I mean? I'm kind of maxed out on Trump, man.
Well, I think he's gonna be. It's gonna be a long 4 years because he's gonna be bringing down the country as he gets in there. He's there to bring down the country as a whole and bring in this one world system anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
You think they're gonna let? I mean, think people. I mean, you think they're gonna let a 78-year-old real estate man lead the world? He's not really in charge. Okay, so hell, the Federal Reserve don't answer to him.
Mm. And that's all I'm saying. You know, I was listening to I think I want to say Tinfoil Hat or Sam Tripoli, and they said that on that show. He was like, I just want to see him get rid of the Federal Reserve. And I'm like, that's what I said. If you
Look what happened to JFK when he tried.
Dude, drop your fucking nuts. Day one, the Federal Reserve is done. You talking about you want to end inflation? That's the fastest way. Let us keep our money that we work for.
No.
In the Federal Reserve and get the fucking IRS.
No, they can't allow that.
Because I know that I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe he doesn't have the power to do that.
No, if he somehow did have the power and tried to do it, he wouldn't be here very long. He wouldn't make it to 80.
Shit. These hoes out here, man. Look at the thottery is. I'm gonna have to bookmark that for later. They said, and then Trump won the second time, but all while the UK had learned that Gary Barlow's son was massive, which then became a national priority, whatever that means. Fucking Simpsons, man. I am so tired of the fucking Simpsons, dude. Every single time something happens, they say it was predicted on the Simpsons, man.
Not every single time, but sometimes, yeah, because they have the script. And also they said they have a song called "The Stonecutters" that we control world affairs, and that was the 90s.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to listen to that.
Yeah, look up "Stonecutters" The Simpsons on YouTube.
This is crazy. So yeah, man, shout out Armchair Revolutionary for pulling up today and making time. What's your final thoughts on this situation? Does it affect your life at all? Does the Trump
No.
or Trump
No, it doesn't. It won't, because they already have, like I've been saying, they already are going to do what they were going to do. So it will start to get crazy here in next 2 years. That it'll start to get crazy. You'll start to see, because now we're in the final stages what they want to do. So they're going to be bringing it in during this term of Trump.
Yeah, man. And I'm gonna be pouring up some champagne, laughing at these people that were.
That's all you can really do, because we cannot do anything about it. There's a few people that are awake. We can't do anything about it.
Damn. Is your what the fuck? Did your channel still up, or you?
No, my channel's still up, but I haven't posted in 6 months.
I typed your name in on YouTube. That shit don't even come up, bro. Yo,
I'm shadow banned, man.
What? Oh, here. Damn, I had to scroll all the way down there. That's crazy. Yeah,
I'm shadow banned.
My channel is shadow banned too, bro. It's bad.
And you be like, you're not like, just reckless like I am. Like you try to be, you self-censor and stuff, and you still get attacked. So
yeah,
that's why I think that if I ever going to come back, I'm probably going to go on Rumble until they knock me down.
Yeah, I was on Rumble, looking for the alternative content on alternative opinion on Trump, but a lot of them is just a bunch of MAGA people in there now.
Yeah, make it a maggot.
Make them. They're a bunch like a MAGA people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maggots, but they're really maggots because they claim to be a truther, but yet you don't see the truth that Trump is there to be the Pied Piper of our destruction.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, it's hard to find organic, critical thinking people on social media anymore.
they might as well just go on Alex Jones' show at that point. You know, they might as well go be on Alex Jones' correspondent.
Right. Right, because apparently Joe is like, Joe at the top of the alternative media is Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson. I don't, maybe they got Alex Jones up there because he's always, whatever Elon put out. It's just this weird little like gay, like non-human.
Alex Jones was a disinfo agent from day one. That's why Bill Cooper attacked him. Alex Jones lied on Bill Cooper when Bill Cooper was alive in the late 90s. And he said that Bill Cooper came on his show and ranted and raved and cussed. Bill Cooper, you go back and listen to the Bill Cooper, Alex Jones interview. Bill Cooper didn't use one swear word. He is very calm and respectable. He gave his information and left the show. Right. Alex Jones went back and said that Bill Cooper was rude and cussed up a storm on it live on the air. Bill Cooper did not. Then Bill Cooper called Alex Jones a little coward, liar, for saying that I cussed in your broadcast. He said I did not cuss. Everyone heard it, and I never used one bad word on your whole broadcast. So, and then of course the government unalives Bill Cooper, and then Alex Jones comes back and says, "Oh, Bill Cooper was such a great guy. His stuff was very informative." Of course, after the man is gone, it's easy to come back and say, "Oh," and just sing his praises. And also now Bill Cooper's not a threat because Bill Cooper's gone on this plane of existence, man. So
that's real shit. All right, man. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer, man. Definitely go subscribe to Armchair Revolutionary on YouTube, and if he makes any other channels, definitely we're gonna promote it. Appreciate you making time, Armchair, and I appreciate the conversation.
Anytime, brother. All right, peace.
Later, guys. On the way out, I'm gonna play a clip of George Carlin. Give me a second. I appreciate everybody chiming in on the conversation. Definitely hit the like button. Definitely share.
Everybody complains. Now, there's one thing you might have noticed I don't complain about. Politicians. Everybody complains about politicians. Everybody says they... Yeah! Well, where do people think these politicians come from? They don't fall out of the sky. They don't pass through a membrane from another reality. They come from American parents and American families, American homes, American schools, American churches, American businesses, and American universities, and they're elected by American citizens. This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out. If you have selfish, ignorant citizens, you're going to get selfish, ignorant leaders. And term limits ain't going to do you any good. You're just going to wind up with a brand new bunch of selfish, ignorant Americans. So maybe it's not the politicians who suck. Maybe something sucks around here. Like the public. Yeah, the public sucks. There's a nice campaign slogan for somebody. The public sucks. Fuck hope. Fuck hope. Because if it's really just the fault of these politicians, then where are all the other bright people of conscience? Where are all the bright, honest, intelligent Americans ready to step in and save the nation and lead the way? We don't have people like that in this country. Everybody's at the mall, scratching his ass, picking his nose, taking his credit card out of his fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with lights in them. So I have solved this little political dilemma for myself in a very simple way. On election day, I stay home. I don't vote. Fuck them. Fuck them. I don't vote. Two reasons I don't vote. First of all, it's meaningless. This country was bought and sold and paid for a long time ago. The shit they shuffle around every 4 years doesn't mean a fucking thing. And secondly, I don't vote because I believe if you vote, you have no right to complain. People like to twist that around. I know. They say, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But where's the logic in that? If you vote and you elect dishonest, incompetent people, and they get into office and screw everything up, well, you are responsible for what they have done. You caused the problem. You voted them in. You have no right to complain. I, on the other hand, who did not vote, who, in fact, did not even leave the house on election day, am in no way responsible for what these people have done and have every right to complain as loud as I want about the mess you created that I had nothing to do with. So I know that a little later on this year, you're going to have another one of those really swell presidential elections that you like so much. Enjoy yourselves. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure as soon as the election is over, your country will improve immediately. As for me, I'll be home on that day doing essentially the same thing as you. The only difference is when I get finished masturbating, I'm going to have a little something to show for it, folks. Thank you very much.
That's funny, man. I fuck with George Carlin because you could tell, like, he tells raw truth. He puts the mirror up, and it's like, that's just another layer of it. Yeah, you can blame the politicians, you can blame the lizard people, the elites, whatever. But this is what Paul does as well. You have to put the mirror up. You have to evolve. You have to, as an individual, you have to level up. And if everybody fucking levels up, then they're not even capable of running game on us. You know what I'm saying? Let's just have a real conversation, man. As an individual, like Paul says, you have to change. And that's what this is, what George Carlin is saying as well. It's like, look at the motherfuckers you're giving consent to and a vow to an allegiance to and signing a contract with, man. Come on, for your free will, right? Let's have a real conversation. It's people talking about Trump got a max contract for 4 years and shit. Get the fuck up out of here, man. It's a joke. It's a complete joke, man. And we live in this world where it's like the gaslighting is just at level the level of gaslighting is just, it's never been this crazy, bro. It's never been this insane. And so they'll tell you, oh, well, if you don't vote, you have no right to complain. But the reason why a person is not voting is because they want their own sovereignty. A man doesn't want another man to lead them. A man's purpose is to lead himself and his family. I don't need Donald Trump to do a goddamn thing for me. I don't need Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Obama to do a goddamn thing for me. Because at the end of the day, they didn't, and they wouldn't, and they never will. So that's the video. Get up out of here, man. I'll catch you on the next one.